everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and with me, as always,
Gator.
We are coming to you live.
Recording live.
Recording live at the Weston Tobacco Festival in beautiful Weston, Missouri.
It's a gorgeous town.
It is. It's a quaint little town, nice little downtown area, and it was bustling with people earlier when we were driving through. And man, finding a parking spot is definitely difficult. So
Right?
Yeah, but this little festival is hosted by the original Weston Tobacco, which is located at 357 Main Street in Weston, Missouri. You can find them online at westontobacco.com. And
It's kind of cool. They're set up in like what would be an old grain mill or
something like that, yeah. And
stockyard or
so like,
something. Yeah, it's
so
really
like
cool.
the store is downstairs, and they've got a hell of a humidor.
Oh yeah, they do.
They've got a great humidor, and then upstairs is like almost like a barn / event hall.
Yeah,
And so they've got tons of tables.
it'd be like where they shot Footloose, is what it looks like.
Yeah,
It really
yeah.
does.
But they've got tons of tables up there. They've got cigar vendors. So there's cigar companies up there with the reps selling boxes, and I'm sure making deals. But then they also have like this almost kind of like a little craft fair going on, which is interesting because they've got a I'll just say it. There's a lot more women here than at maybe other cigar festivals because there's more to it than just cigars.
A little something for everybody.
Precisely. So
Yeah, it's really neat. I'm glad Corey gave us an invitation to come out here.
So Corey Frisbee is the owner of Weston Tobacco.
What a cool last name.
He and his son. Yeah, we'll have to ask him if he, has any stock in Whammo. Right? Whammo. Frisbee. So anyway.
Oh my God.
What? I'm right though, Anna.
I think you might be.
I was gonna say,
actually,
come
yeah.
on, it's
You pulled that right out of your
by
ass.
Whammo.
Whammo.
Anyway,
his family may be the Frisbee family, and they may be in like some sort of bitter like legal dispute with Whammo.
well then it's going to get real awkward
It's
when
gonna
we
get
ask
awkward
about
quickly,
that
yes.
because whatever. Well, because we are here at the Weston Tobacco location, Jeff and I both thought it would be appropriate to see if they had any house blends.
And they do.
And they do. They do roll some of their own cigars here in addition to the ones in the humidor. And so Jeff and I each purchased some of those. Now, Jeff, what are you smoking?
I am actually smoking the Sweet Connecticut. It is dipped. It is sweet dipped, but they will not tell me in what.
Well, they won't tell you in what.
I asked. They won't tell me.
Okay. I just went with, I bought two of them. I bought a mild and I bought a medium.
That's right. I saw that.
I think the band is starting to play upstairs because I'm getting some background noise all of a sudden.
No.
I don't know if you folks
You
can
guys
hear
are going to
that,
get
so.
to hear the band
This
while
is
we're
going to be
talking.
an interesting episode, folks. The way this comes out, we will see how this goes.
But it's really cool. They said they sold up to 500 tickets today.
Oh, dude, I believe
amazed,
it.
yeah.
I completely believe it. The crowd up there is just huge. Anyway, I bought a mild and I bought a medium. Now, this is going to be my first cigar of the day, so I am starting with the mild.
Okay.
So I'm
going with the mild.
do that.
It's the
first.
mild Connecticut Sweet is
I was
what I'm
going to
doing.
say, it does definitely look like a Connecticut. It's got that nice kind of light tan color to it.
We're sharing a cutter, so I'm going to get my cut on so Nick can have the cutter.
Oh, clean cut for Jeff.
Oh, yes.
They have a fantastic selection of really nice-looking cutters and lighters.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I am really tempted to try and find myself another new toy. I don't know. I typically like to try and find a nice ashtray. I seem to be amassing quite the collection of ashtrays.
We both are, yeah.
But,
But no, they have a
because
really
I totally
nice,
need a nice collection of ashtrays. But
You never know. They have a nice selection, and they also have a lot of pipe tobacco I noticed here, in addition
really?
to their hand-rolled cigars that they do on location.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't notice that. They also, going back to what we've talked about before with different shops, different, things in the humidor, there were quite a few cigars in there that I haven't seen in our general area. I'm trying to think of any off the top of my head. There's like some Aganorsa Leaf and some Aging Room and a couple other ones that if I've seen them locally, I cannot recall off the top of my head.
I found a Wynwood Hills when I was in purchasing earlier.
That's an Aroa brand.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know if I've seen those around too much. Oh, did you buy a Filthy Hooligan?
I got a Filthy Hooligan.
You bought a Filthy Hooligan.
Oh, yeah. Black market, baby.
Oh, dang. And that's one thing I will say. We'll get into it with Corey. But in addition to the shop here that he has with his son, Corey is a cigar broker. And he brokers with a number of companies. And I would assume that the selection within the humidor represents the companies that he works with. So,
that would make sense.
yeah.
Now, I also pulled down a Casada.
While you talk about that, I am going to light my cigar.
Light away. Yep. Also got a Casada while I was in the humidor there.
And why did you get that Casada, Jeff?
Well, because on an upcoming podcast that we are technically going to record today, but through the magic of podcasting, you guys will be hearing it sometime in the next week or so. We're going to be talking to Mr. Casada.
Manuel Casada and Oscar Valadares are both here. So we are going to pull them aside for a few minutes each and get a little insight about their companies and their histories and everything else.
They've graciously offered a little bit of time to come talk to us, so we're excited about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, right off the bat, it is an interesting flavor to the Connecticut here.
Okay.
I wonder how old his Connecticut is.
How so? You mean aged?
Precisely. Because I'm getting kind of a bitter quality to it. And typically the younger leaves tend to be a little bit more bitter.
So you're saying maybe a little less aged?
I'm just wondering how aged this tobacco is. You need to light a little bit more, man. Your whole bottom third of there is still, black as midnight.
Don't look at my bottom, Nick. Nick always likes to check out my bottom, folks.
Let's talk about your bottom for a minute, you ass. So, folks, this festival is located in Weston, Missouri, which is about 30 minutes north of Kansas City. So we're back over on the western side of Missouri today. And we got up early and drove out here so that we could attend this festival. And now, mind you, this event has been going on. It goes from 10 until 8, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So we probably arrived, what would you say, Jeff? Maybe 2-ish, give or take?
1:32.
1:32, somewhere in that range.
That's a whole fiasco in and of itself.
Yeah, we had to find some stuff. But the bottom line, though, is...
You make that sound like we were doing a drug deal. We needed a microphone stand, folks.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
We had to find some stuff.
We had some gear we had to try and pick up. And then, come to find out, we can't really quite get the thing to work properly, so I don't know if we're actually going to need it. So it's a pain in the ass. But anyway.
We've got it just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
So Jeff decides at one point during the drive that he's just going to start to hotbox me in the car.
Folks, I want to apologize right now. Not to Nick, just
I was
to
going to say,
you.
to you
You have
for
to hear
hearing
about
about this. He hotboxes me in the car and proceeds to just light up my car with his farts.
It's not the first time.
Well, no, which brings me to my greater point. Jeff has a habit of just nuking rooms, cars, just all over the place. Sometimes it'll be fun. You'll be standing there talking to him, and he'll just suddenly start to slowly walk. And about halfway around, you'll notice he's actually walking around you.
I do a circle.
And what he does is he circles you and crop dusts you as he's doing it.
It's a circle of death.
Ensnaring you in the evil grip
Nowhere to run to.
Of his just heinous farts. And probably the worst example I have of this, not the circling, but his butt demons.
Corey's so glad we came out here to talk about this.
So I have two examples that are just horrific. The first was one night when Jeff and I were out delivering my newspaper. We were going to the different newspaper boxes around town. So I had gotten out, and I ran up to the box and took out the old papers, put in the new papers.
Now, mind you, while he's doing this, I've cranked the heat, and I've annihilated his car.
he's just cranked the heat in there, and he's just letting go. All the windows are up to where when I get in the car, I sit down, I close the door real quick because, we're hustling, we're getting going.
And it's cold out.
And it didn't take 3 seconds for it to hit me, and I start coughing and gagging. And next thing I know, I've thrown up. I have thrown up in my mouth and
it was
had
the
to like
closest I've ever come to actually feeling bad for doing that.
Yeah, I've thrown up my mouth and have to like gag it back down because I'm in my car and I'm driving. You literally got me to the point of vomiting.
You'd think I'd grow up at some point, but no.
So the other time that Jeff just utterly caused chaos. With his butt.
Folks, I'm not gonna lie, it's weapons grade.
The other time, so he had called me. He wanted to get it together and have dinner. And I was at my office. Well, I had to go to a city council meeting.
And I was covering a chamber event for him.
And
being nice.
So I told him, hey, I got to go to the city council meeting. I looked at the agenda. It was super quick. I'm like, it's going to take 15 minutes at most. I'm like, just wait here at my office. I'll be right back.
That's not how it worked out.
Unfortunately, it took about an hour. And thanks, local government. And so during that hour, Jeff sat there watching a documentary on Netflix about Leonard Nimoy.
It was the greatest thing ever.
And essentially dropped ass into this big plush brown chair that I had in my office and just nuked it.
I mean, and when I'm kind of proud of this, and I shouldn't be. But, I mean, we're talking about a fairly big room. Was it 1,000 square feet? I mean, it was a big room.
About 800.
About 800. So I feel
it was at the end of a hallway. So, like, the way you would enter my building is you'd come in the back door and rear door, and that entrance would lead to a hallway. My office was the first suite on the right.
Yep.
So when I walked in, I punched in the code for the back door. I opened the door. I stepped 1 foot into the hallway, and Jeff has the door of my office open, and he's sitting there watching the TV, and it just hits me like a wall of funk. And it was just the worst thing I've ever encountered. So he had not only nuked my office, but it also had it carry out over into the hallway. Well, where this gets even better is like I don't know.
Well, no, you forgot about Angela coming in.
Well, that's true. So I have a reporter come in a little later, and she proceeds to kind of say like, "What is that smell?" And I'm like, "That was Jeff." And she's like, "Oh my God!" And so like
she was horrified.
So about 4 days later, my staff is getting ready to sit down and have their weekly budget meeting, for stories and everything. And by now, the word about the chair had gotten around.
Except to everybody.
Except to my sports reporter.
Yep.
So everybody else had sat on the couch, taken an office chair, taken whatever, left the big brown chair just sitting there.
So
that when my reporter Sam came walking in and just flopped into the chair, it's like it released like a spore cloud. You could almost see it. It was just like this cloud of funk just lifted into the air and just fell gingerly like snow
right
or radioactive dust in Chernobyl all over the room. And just all of us were just moved to want to retch yet again. Because of Jeff's butt.
It made me so happy.
It was horrific.
It made me so happy. So anyway, to the cigar. I like it. Now, again, I've got the sweet Connecticut.
And I wonder if maybe that's why they offer the sweet Connecticut, is maybe the Connecticut is not quite as aged, so it's got a little bit of a Connecticut bite to it and everything, and so maybe they offer the sweet Connecticut.
It's definitely balanced mine
for
out.
those that maybe prefer like the infused, like an acid or something like that. But then also maybe it's a way to offer a Connecticut that's not. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm liking this cigar. It's a good It's a good quality cigar. I'll tell you, it's well made. I am just stacking dimes over here.
Oh, yeah.
With the ash.
They're
and
doing a good job
I
rolling
have a
these things.
very clean burn line, and I mean, this is a solid cigar. What size is this, Jeff? This is probably like a what, 5 by maybe like 52.
I'm thinking 50, 52, somewhere in there.
It's not a 50.
A little bigger?
I think it's a little bigger. I'm thinking 5 by 52. Not a maybe 54. 54 at most.
At most, yeah.
At most. But I'm thinking it's probably... We can ask Corey when we come on and kind of...
Yeah, see, mine's...
See, you know, what...
Like I said, I think that little bit of sweet dip just must counter what you're catching on the bitter there, because mine's pretty
And that's the thing.
balanced.
It's not a harsh bitter. It's not a, like, unsmokable, oh, my God, I'm, like, you know, puckering kind of bitter. But it's just a little bit on the tongue, you know, just a little bit of
well, and
bitter
what
flavor
would you
to
do
it.
with that? Would you age that in your humidor for a while, or what would you do to counter that a little bit?
Oh, God, I have no idea.
I don't either. There I was looking to you for guidance.
Don't look at me.
Find a whiskey barrel and
Here's the thing, folks.
bury a minute.
Once again,
Age it.
we are not experts. This is something I want to emphasize. But, no, I think the whole point is, to age it.
Yeah.
That if you have kind of a younger Connecticut, I think, you just age it.
Yeah.
So...
Well, I'm loving
that would be
this
my
one.
guess. I'd be curious to know if he would talk about the blends. I don't know if he would or not.
We're going to find out.
All right.
By God. So, okay. So, on the trip out here, we stopped at the St. Louis Bread Company, or as most of the world knows it as Panera. And we got a couple of bagels, and Nick got a breakfast sandwich, and I had this little cheesy something.
It was like a puff pastry that was just stuffed full of cream cheese.
It was a Heather or Diane. It had a name. I don't even know. But so I get that, but I'm still feeling...
Samantha.
Yeah, Sammy. It's a cheese Sammy.
The emphysema hour travels to Kansas City.
Exactly. Okay. So, whatever it was called. We leave and we get down the road a little ways, and, we've got to stop and get some gas and this, that, and the other. And all of a sudden, I'm feeling a mite peckish for some reason after my bagel with double cream cheese.
A bagel and a pastry weren't enough. Jeff had to have more food.
So I stop at McDonald's, which normally is a huge mistake, but it actually tasted good. And I wanted a cheeseburger, but it was too early, so I ended up getting a McGriddle. And I wanted the McGriddle minus the egg because I have kind of a little egg allergy and I don't like to eat eggs. So, of course, they served it to me with the egg on it because these people deserve $15 an hour. Sorry, was that too political?
No, I think it's perfectly fine. I think it's horrific that hey, that's some thunder right
now
there,
we
folks.
got some rain.
We got a nice, good thunderstorm rolling through here.
Yes,
anyway,
we do.
Sorry, it just took me off
We're
guard.
awfully close to Kansas to be enjoying a thunderstorm, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
Going to be on the Yellow Brick Road before long.
No, I totally agree. I think it's horrific that some of these. I've never had a good experience at my local McDonald's.
Oh, no, your local McDonald's
My
sucks.
local McDonald's sucks. I'm actually fairly confident that they find some of the most ignorant people within the McDonald's organization and staff it with them. And so with that, it's just paying them $15 an hour to mess up my order is just criminal.
Well, so Nick the other day at his local McDonald's actually went through the drive-thru and they couldn't even accomplish putting his hamburger in his bag.
Nope, I had to go back in. So, which kind of defeats the point of the drive-thru.
You literally bought a hamburger and they couldn't put it in the bag.
Well, they put fries in the bag. But anyway.
Yeah. So, of course the egg's on it, so I got to take the egg and throw it out because I begged them, don't waste the egg. But they wasted the egg. So
Jeff threw it at the restaurant. Unfortunately, I was not quick enough with my phone to get the video of this.
Thank God.
But as he's driving through the drive-through, he's driving past the drive-through. So he just kind of rolls the window down and just chucks this egg patty out the window.
I might have been a little bitter. I mean, because we had a conversation about how save the egg, don't waste it, and of course they had to put the god. Anyway.
Well,
anyhow.
But see, the woman that you talked to at the register
wasn't the one making it.
She didn't put the egg on.
I literally watched her go back and tell them. She told the guy to his face, Oh, they want
Did she
those
put it
without
on the
egg.
receipt?
I-
Did she put it
I
in the
don't know.
computer?
I
You know,
don't
no egg?
She told
Guess-
the guy.
Well,
I didn't.
I get it.
I don't have the
but,
receipt, so I
you know,
don't.
anyway.
So regardless, we get down the road, and I bought 2 of them because you could get the second one for $1. So
So
we're
he had
driving
2
along.
eggs to throw out.
I did. I really did. So we get down the road. Well, I decide that I want to go ahead and eat the sausage, but I don't want to eat the other McGriddle patties, which essentially are 2 little small pancakes.
But they're better because the syrup is like
Oh, the
packed in
syrup's
them in
embedded.
little pockets, and so
They're so
nice
tasty.
and clean.
So we get down the road, and then Nick has to stop for whatever reason, and I find grape high chews,
no,
by the way.
No.
What?
Nick didn't stop for whatever reason. You were driving at that point. You wanted to stop at Casey's because you were getting tired and you wanted to swap out. You
That's
wanted
right.
to use the restroom.
Nope, you're
and
exactly
you wanted
right.
to like whatever. So we got
And I found grape high chews, and Nick's never had a grape high chew before, but it's so good.
So anyway, so as he's inside buying his snacks, I go back out to the car. I get in the driver's seat, and I notice that there's this McDonald's bag sitting there. And I look in, and all I see is wadded up paper. I just see wadded up paper. So I grab that and a couple other little pieces of garbage, and I take it over the garbage can, and I throw it away. 'Cause why not? It was garbage.
So I get back in the car, and I'm like, hey, where's my pancakes?
And I'm
I
like,
was saving those for later.
I'm like, well, dude, were they in the bag? I threw the bag away.
And he literally wanted me to go over and pull the refuse out of the can.
I just threw it away. It was right on top. You could have just
Dude,
reached in and grabbed it.
Okay, to quote Seinfeld, refuse adjacent to refuse is refuse.
Well,
It's like when George ate the donut out of the trash.
I'm sorry. I'm just letting you know. It was right on top. You could have reached in and just grabbed
if
the
I
bag.
did that, would you have videotaped me
Hell
doing
yeah,
it?
I would have videotaped it. And I told you, I would have put it up on my Instagram page every day for the rest of my life. Hey, guys, remember this? This is when Gator took food out of the garbage and ate it.
So now you know why I didn't go get my pancakes. And I'm really sad about those pancakes because they're so good.
Oh, guys, he has been on me about these
I'm
pancakes
so triggered.
ever since. And I didn't anticipate talking about them on the podcast, but yet here we are.
Here we
talking
are.
about your pancakes.
Whoa!
That was some lightning.
Holy shnikes. I heard that pop over the headphones.
Yeah.
We're gonna get annihilated
You
here.
realize this outlet's not grounded.
Oh, shit. Well, folks, this may be the final Nick and Gator.
Yeah, because we may nuke all of our equipment at one time.
I'm more worried about us.
Oh, we'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, like the lightning's not going to travel through the headphones right into our brains.
Boy, there's a thought I hadn't considered.
Just zzz. It'll be like something out of Frankenstein.
Well, thanks.
Maybe we'll get
Now
superpowers.
I am freaked.
Maybe we'll get superpowers.
Yours is just going to be the power of annoying people.
I've already got that.
No shit.
Already got it.
Guys, so like I have this Apple power cord in my car so that I can plug in my phone and charge it while I
This you
drive.
may have to put up on your Instagram.
I'm going to
for
put this
people to
video
see.
up. And Jeff took this cord and he held it maybe about, I don't know, 6 inches from the end of it.
I was trying to
And,
help Nick out.
So it would just kind of like dangle a little bit. And he was holding it right at my eye, but just in the periphery of my eye as I was driving. And so as I'm driving, all I see is just this little thing just dancing.
It's arced.
Arced and dancing just on the just outside of my
It
periphery.
was the lightning cord.
And it was the most obnoxious thing ever.
I only did it for about 4 or 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. It was really obnoxious.
So how's your cigar?
Good. I don't know if the draw is maybe getting a little tighter as I go or something. It was kicking out a lot more smoke earlier. The smoke level seems to have died down. Now,
I think mine's
yours is still cooking.
Yeah.
And I mean, yours is a little smoker over there.
It
but,
is.
You know.
It was a good cigar. I'm going to have to buy a few more of these before we head out.
Now, if I give it a good draw and really puff on it, then
Yeah, you got some smoke rolling
I got
now.
some smoke rolling, but you know, just to let it sit naturally, it's not like it's just. But then again, now that I'm looking at it, neither's yours, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just being overly picky.
Maybe. I was going to say, I think you may have wanted a sweet on this one because I'm really enjoying this. It's just got that little bit. It's It's
I'll
not
buy
quite.
one.
It's not quite like an ambrosia or a.
I'll buy one. I'll buy one before we go.
Okay.
I'll just hit it up and I'll just get a bunch.
I'm going
more.
to get a couple to go.
Yeah. Oh,
You know.
well, definitely. I mean,
But it's not quite that. You're not getting that much spice. It's just that little bit of sweet flavor is really enhancing the flavor of the cigar.
well, I'm going to need some more for later anyway because we are crashing in Kansas City again this evening.
We are.
So there will be more adventures coming after this episode. We'll bring that up in the next episode when we feature one of the interviews that we do here with either Oscar or Manuel Casada.
So that'll be the next couple of podcasts, hopefully.
Yeah.
As we move forward, if the lightning doesn't take us out.
That's true. If the lightning doesn't take us out, and
It's a hell of a little storm that came in.
no joke.
We're in Missouri, but just barely, folks. Just
I always
barely.
say we are like right on the edge of Missouri and Kansas. We're actually real close to Leavenworth.
Leavenworth, yeah.
Leavenworth.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was going to say, we got a lively crowd here.
Yeah, we do.
It's, well, like you said, they sold what, like 500 tickets for
what
this
I heard
thing?
was 500 tickets, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And it's a nice event. Everybody seems to be having a good time. I didn't get to walk around and talk as much with the crowd as I did at the Kansas City Cigar Fest.
Yeah.
Because we got here and we sat down and ate. By the way, the food was phenomenal.
Food was great. Some
Yeah.
nice brisket, but man, that baked potato was the
you were
star
right.
of the show.
I skipped the baked potato, and Nick talked
He
me
did,
into.
and I told him, I'm like, you got to go get it. You got to go make it happen, man. Because it was one of those Yukon Golds, so it's like that yellow potato on the inside. Oh, it was so sweet. And they'd been sitting there all wrapped in the foil and everything, so they were hot.
Spoon tender because they were out of forks.
They were out of forks. So
By the time we got here.
we got a spoon and kind of cut into that and slathered it up with some butter and some.
Oh, yeah.
I hit mine with some cheese. I don't know if you hit yours with some cheese, but
No, I did not.
I had the
went
butter and the cheese and
butter
man,
and a little bit of salt.
It was divine.
Yep, mine as well. But yeah, the brisket was great.
Brisket was good.
And
Baked
the
beans were
fat
really
melted
good.
in your mouth.
Yes, this was good brisket.
Yep, this was
good brisket.
So yeah, I'll tell you, Corey's put on a hell of an event here.
Yeah, I'm
really
really
has.
impressed, and
If you
I
guys-
do definitely look forward to going up and seeing what the cigar vendors have in terms of deals and specials and everything.
Yeah, if
See
you
who
guys are
all's
in
here.
the Kansas City area, well, what would you say? This is maybe 15, 20 minutes north of the airport at Kansas City? Because the Kansas City airport's way north of Kansas City.
It's about 30 minutes north of downtown, I would
Yeah.
guess. So maybe 20 minutes north of the airport.
Yeah.
You kind of go out in the country. I think we passed a distillery on our way here and everything like that.
And this town
I mean, it's a
is
quaint,
beautiful.
It is. It is a quaint little town, and it's like I was telling you in the beginning. I mean, it was bustling with activity when we got here. Not just here for the Cigar Fest, but like all the shops downtown. There were people coming and going and everything. I haven't seen a little downtown area this busy. Oh my God. In a very, very long time.
No, this is a throwback. This is what a downtown should be. This is why people should be shopping locally and not buying everything on Google and Amazon and eBay. Get out and meet your town and get involved and connect.
Yeah. No, I'm
so over the internet right now.
I'm really impressed with Weston. So.
Well, I think this would be a good time to grab Corey and do your interview with him about the festival.
Yeah.
And then we can come back on and share a few final thoughts.
Sounds good.
Good stuff.
All right, we're going to go grab Corey. We'll be right back. So I'm joined here with Corey Frisbee. You are the owner of Weston Tobacco, correct?
Well, I am one of the owners.
One of the owners. Okay,
Yes.
so
So this cigar shop was started by my second son and I, and my oldest son and I now have it. However, I am very inactive in the shop at this point.
okay.
My oldest son does all of the day-to-day operations and decisions and everything else.
Okay. And then, so your role, what preoccupies your time, you are a cigar broker, correct?
That's correct.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Kind of
Yeah.
what all goes into that?
Yeah, so I represent several different cigar companies. I have Leaf by Oscar, Casada, 1502, Matilda, just a lot of the boutique brands.
Okay.
When I don't know that you can call Oscar or Casada a boutique brand, but but I have those two. And It's just about going in and showing the shops the product and talking to the customers and trying to introduce them to new cigars.
Kind of like a cigar rep, only you don't work necessarily for the company. You are your own separate entity, correct?
Yeah, I'm exactly like a cigar rep in
Yeah.
that I go out and promote those brands.
Okay.
But I am not exclusive to one company.
Gotcha. Okay. So this event that we're here at. I'm sorry.
You could say I'm the whore of the cigar industry.
There you go. whoever will take in, whoever you want to take, I guess. So this event that we're at today. So tell us a little bit about the Weston Tobacco Festival.
Yeah, so the Weston Tobacco Festival actually started, I believe it was 7 or 8 years ago.
Okay.
And it started in conjunction with some people here locally in town, because Weston is very well known for growing tobacco. And anyway, we did it with these people, and they wanted to charge for parking, and every time you walk through a door, it was $250.
Oh my God! Yeah.
So what we ended up with was a tobacco festival where we had a bunch of vendors standing around looking at each other.
Oh no.
So Colton and I, my late son, we decided to take it on ourselves, and our thought was we keep it simple, stupid.
Okay.
You need beer, you need good food, you need cigars, and some music. And that is still today the theme of this event.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely keep it simple, stupid. Good food, good beer, good music, and good cigars. And then we have great deals on the cigars.
You've got a hell of a crowd up there. I mean, so how many people you?
Well, it was really just my closest friends, you know, the 450 closest.
Fantastic.
So I mean, that's a deal that I have been truly blessed with people that have stepped up to help me actually be something.
Yeah.
You know, and in this industry, you meet some of the greatest people, and there are 450 of the greatest people on this planet upstairs right now.
Oh, that's perfect. Tell us, maybe just back up just a little bit. This shop, how did you get into this shop?
As far as the origins of the shop?
Yeah, how did you get into, I guess, how did you get into the tobacco industry?
Well, we had a painting company.
Okay.
Which is, I think, how everybody got into the tobacco industry.
Yeah. No, not in the least, but okay.
So, at night, if you've ever worked with painters, most of them are meth heads or alcoholics.
Okay.
So, at night, my boys and I would sit around and smoke a cigar and drink a glass of scotch, and we would talk about what our stupid meth head painters had done on our job that day. Putting a ladder through a window, you know, I mean, one of them fell off of a 1.5-story roof because he was high.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I mean, it was endless.
Yeah.
There was always something. And Colton, my late son, he looked at me that night and he said, "Dad, I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore." And it just kind of hit me, and I looked at him and I said, "You know, I am too." And so he's like, "Well, what are we going to do?" And we're sipping scotch and smoking a cigar. And I held my cigar up and I said, "You know, it's got to have something to do with this. I want to have fun the rest of my life."
That's fantastic.
And so, yeah, to be honest, we were piss broke.
Yeah.
We didn't have any money. We scratched together $2,300, and that's what we started this company with.
Really?
Yes. We had a box of tobacco and a card table.
Yeah.
And we sat down and rolled cigars. I got a Cuban lady to teach me how to roll.
Yeah.
I think it was a year and a half before we were able to sell a cigar out of our shop that we did not roll ourselves.
Wow. Wow.
And I was so proud of myself. I bought 6 boxes of Oliva cigars. I'll never forget it.
That was the first inventory that wasn't your own, huh?
That it was.
Wow.
It absolutely was.
Let's talk about your cigars, because Jeff and I have been smoking some of them. So he was having one of the sweet mild, and then I have a mild. So kind of talk about your cigars a little bit and what goes into your house brand.
All right. So when you get into cigars, there again, I'm kind of on that keep it simple, stupid rule. And we get into a lot of these deals where cigar companies need marketing, and they tell you need to smoke their cigar because of this.
Yeah.
It could be because it holds the ash for 2 inches. It has a certain color on the ash. There are just a lot of things that they put out there about the cigars. And really, when it comes down to cigars, if it tastes good to you, the construction's good. Look, it's a good cigar.
Yeah.
I don't care if it costs you $3.50 or $22.50. And there are $22.50 cigars that I've dropped in the trash can.
Yeah.
An inch in, because it wasn't me.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, no, I mean, I've been really enjoying the mild. I assume it's kind of a Connecticut.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Nicaraguan, Dominican filler, Connecticut wrapper, Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper.
Okay. And then I also bought a medium.
Okay.
So what was the medium made up of?
Our Sumatra, a little bit more Nicaraguan.
Okay.
In the filler.
Yeah.
The fillers on all of them are very similar.
Okay.
We had a little more Nicaraguan to add a little spice to it. But all of our cigars are just smooth, easy smoking cigars.
And they're what, maybe like 5x52-ish? Do you have a
5x50?
5x50, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Couldn't tell. Yeah. You know how it gets to be about that range. Yeah. So, well, perfect. You got to go do a drawing, so I'm going to let you go and be the man of the hour and run your party. But thank you very much for taking some time out to talk to us.
Hey, guys, thanks for coming
And thanks for
down.
inviting us. I mean, this is great. So.
Oh, no, we loved having you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks, Corey.
Bye-bye.
So that was our brief talk with Corey. He had to go run off and do the drawing.
This is an absolute great event that they're having.
They are, and it is packed. It is packed.
Loud,
it is loud.
Exactly.
So I think we're going to go ahead and call this a show. And
I gotta say, we have had an absolutely great time at the Weston Tobacco store
Festival,
here. It has been great.
It has been a great time. Lots of people
good
having
food,
a great
good
time.
vendors. We've got upcoming podcasts.
Yeah, we've got quite a few interviews in the can now with a couple of big names, and we'll be drawing those interviews out, and we'll circle back up. But for now, we'll go ahead and give our final thoughts. So I had that Connecticut.
Yes.
And man, it was a great smoke, consistent through and through. Great construction and everything else, and I loved it. And
I'll tell you, the version I had with the sweet was just outstanding.
You had the sweet mild, yeah.
Yes.
I'm getting ready to light up that medium that I bought and enjoy that, and enjoy the band, and just kind of have a good time here and everything. So.
And again, thanks to Corey for the invite and having us out here. He set us up with a table to do our podcast.
Fantastic.
And it seems like the entire room has moved in here with us.
Yeah, the party has come to us now. So
well, it tends to happen with Nick and Gator.
It does tend to happen. So
we even had people come up and get our autograph earlier.
I think you prompted that, but that's okay. It happened. It happened.
It did. So I'm not admitting to anything.
No, there you go. Well, folks, check us out on Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit. You can drop me an email at nick@cigarpulpit.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter and our YouTube channel. And then
we might as well have her mic'd up.
I know, right? And then anyway, but that's it for us from the Weston Tobacco Festival.
It has been a great time here in Weston, Missouri, and folks, we encourage everybody to come to this next year. It is just a fabulous event.
A hoot. So this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit.
How do they get a hold of us?
I just went over all that.
Okay, start over.
This has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick.
I'm Gator.
Have a good evening and stay smoky, everyone.
Love you guys. Bye.